Hello YouTube, I played Lifeweaver for the past week. Chad is over here. They joined me in a bunch of viewer games. And I have some concluding thoughts after a week of playing him. And I'm not one to have some like crazy overreaction or knee-jerk reaction. I like to give heroes and changes a fair shot before I give a very strong opinion. But nonetheless, here are my opinions. First of all, I just want to say, if you haven't seen the tweet, pop it up on the screen. Aaron Keller has said they are looking into Lifeweaver. They're going to round out some stats. They're going to probably buff him and look into the controls, the clunkiness. I know he might be a nightmare to play on controller, but so far on my PC, my concluding thoughts are that the weapon swap isn't actually that bad once you get used to it. Once you rebind the keys, I'm actually pretty used to swapping now with right click. That's not bad. The shift, which is the dash, I can understand it being moved onto spacebar in the future. I think it would feel better with weapon swap being mouse 1, mouse 2, same with controller and dash on jump. For now, I really do think once you put like a couple hours on Lifeweaver, the movement clunkiness isn't as bad anymore. Second take, I don't see him being very meta still at this current state. If this is his strength, he doesn't really have like a super strong niche. What I find for support lineups is like you actually want to do one thing really well. Like Mercy can pocket and enable a DPS really well. Baptiste can do a lot of damage and put up pretty good heals. Ana can play make with sleep darts, have a great ultimate with nano boost. Lifeweaver is all about defensive playmaking, which has value on its own. But in order to win a team fight in Overwatch, you need to get a kill, right? You need to get a lot of eliminations in a reasonable amount of time so that you can push the objective or defend the objective, whatever. And with Lifeweaver, because he's all at this point, his weapon is ass cheeks, okay? They need to tighten the spread, but because you need to eliminate people in such a short period of time, Lifeweaver can't do that. And I know they don't want him to be like a hard DPS carry, like Baptiste or Kiriko or Zenyatta. Those heroes have high TTKs. They can 2-tap someone on Kiriko, double headshot, 5 orb on Zen, sleep shot nade as Ana. Bap can like tap people with the headshots. This guy can't do that. So if I'm all defensive playmaking, I'm gonna save someone for a maybe. If I make a play to save someone's life, now I still have to depend on them to make the play for me, and like, you know, we have to wipe the team. If I can't wipe the team and I pull someone and save them, is that life I saved gonna be valuable enough to still convert anything meaningful? At least in the metal ranks, or at least in ranked play, I find he might be one of the harder heroes to solo queue with, strictly because of that level of coordination or that level of playmaking defensively is not indicative of like a winning team fight. Sure, you save them, but you know, was it at the right time? Did it even do anything? Maybe you're just delaying the inevitable, like it was a lost team fight, you saved them, but you're still gonna lose because now they're like way out of space. Now the counter argument is that people are saying you can go really deep into the backlines and pull for an aggressive play, but it's like you pull for the deep play and you better pray that that was the correct call and that you actually execute it correctly, and you can only pull one person. If I'm in the deep lines as Lifeweaver and I pull someone for a play and it fails, we probably die and lose it. If I'm a Kiriko and I make some cheeky play like that, if things go sour and I try to go for a pick, I TP out. There's less risk. So Lifeweaver is like really high risk for potential like mediocre reward is how I find him so far after playing him. Whenever I look at the scoreboard, I think one thing that people might get flamed for, I mean, people in metal ranks are already flaming Zenyatta players for like, you're not healing enough, pick someone with more healing. I would like to say I picked up Lifeweaver's mechanics pretty well. I'm not like really missing any heals. You can't miss these heals, but my numbers are atrocious if we're just being strictly a scoreboard Sally. I have way less output, way less damage, and way less healing per 10 compared to my other support counterparts. In almost every support pair I've done, I'm getting out healed and out DPS'd. If my raw number output isn't great, I need to be doing intangibles, things that are winning fights outside the scoreboard. I found that like I'm just waiting for something bad to happen, like an ult, and then I pull them back. That is value, but it's still like, it's still maybes. They're going to change him, slight adjustments. Like he's actually like probably a few changes away from being like actually quite decent. It's fine that they don't want to make him like really high heals or high DPS, but like some minor tweaks might be just enough. I mentioned this before where a hero like Ashe, whatever year she came out, in 2017, 2018, when she came out, she was very clunky because her ADS, or her scope in animation, was incredibly delayed. But so what they did over time is they smoothed out the animation, they fixed the lagginess of it, they increased they shortened the time to ADS, and then she felt great. The moment they switch Lifeweaver to make him feel less clunky, players are gonna feel more fluid, and you compound that with people slowly getting better at the playmaking and figuring out how to min-max him and play him a little bit better, and learning how to play around him. I actually think he's like probably that change away from being like a B tier hero. And that's B is solid, right? Playable. It does require a bit of coordination. It's going to take a bit of time for people to realize that they can take more risks as long as Lifeweaver calls, I can grip you out. That's where like the higher value comes from. But right now, people are still figuring out how to play with him, figuring out how to play him and play with him. Another thing is this platform. I've noticed that everybody is struggling to like take it correctly. If I'm pre-planting a platform and I don't tell you guys to take it, don't just randomly take it. That's one thing that Lifeweaver players, like you can't ping and be like, you have to type it to, if you're not in the microphone, you have to type out, don't take it yet. This is like a backup. You preset it up so your cooldown's ready so that when people come, you have something to go off of. And this is a very, like Lifeweaver is a very communication heavy hero, which is why he's gonna struggle in ranked, but actually has really high potential in Overwatch League, high level coordinated play. You can ping this platform, but I can't tell people to like not take it. I just tell people my platform is here. And that can be interpreted as take it now or you know what, or not take it. Another thing, a small random tip that I've thought of after playing him for a week is that it's really hard to coordinate your team to take it together. If you want multiple people on this platform, if you want to set up like a cast high noon with a Rhine shield in front of it, if the Rhine walks on first, this thing just rises up randomly before them. So one thing people need to remember is you can jump on it and continue jumping like continue jumping on it like it's a platform on Hollywood, and it won't randomly go up. So if you're the first one on it, wait. Once everybody's on it, then stop jumping and the whole thing will go up. Let me talk about what I think they need to buff and change. Fix the animations, number one, and he's already gonna be good, and remove the movement speed penalty on this heal. I get 25% less movement speed while I charge a heal. Remove these two, don't even tweak any numbers. Animation, key bindings, no slow on the heal, and I actually think you have a recipe for a pretty good hero. Start with that, and if he still feels like shit after like a month, then balance him in the mid-season. But you have to give people time to get the reps in this hero as well. People are getting better, people are learning how to play around it. Compound that with the animation changes, clunkiness changes, control changes, movement speed. Might be okay. Okay, tips and tricks was number one, jumping on the platform a bunch. You don't take it early if you want multiple people to take it with you. You can press it again to cancel. If you accidentally block your team off with the tree, just press the button again and you can cancel it. I realize a lot of people don't know that. If you accidentally block someone off because it's a big piece of cover, like the AoE 50 HP burst healing is honestly not that great. It's annoying, but like sometimes the obstruction of view is kind of annoying for your team. And if they're like, oh shit, you blocked me off in the cave, like on Route 66, if your team's trying to come out and you tree in front of it, it's like, okay, you got the 150 burst healing, but like now it's time that you just get rid of the tree. It's kind of like Mei wall. The Mei wall on your team is good, but like Mei's no, you gotta, sometimes your Mei has a bad wall and you tell the Mei, drop the wall, drop the wall. Sometimes you have to drop the tree, so don't forget to do that. If needed, of course. Another tip I've noticed is when you platform and you want to pull someone up to the platform or to the high ground beside the platform, you have to break your platform or else they're gonna hit the bottom of it like this. If I pull right now, I break the platform. Okay, I messed that one up, but you get the point. If I jump with the platform and I pull someone at the same time, they hit their head on the bottom. You actually have to manually break it. Another tip is if you're fighting in a 1v1 and they take the platform with you, they're not ready, you just jump and then break it right away, and they probably wouldn't have reacted in time to jump and chase with you. Oh, if you're getting chased into a room, you can like platform this choke point like this, walk in, and they might like accidentally get body blocked. They're not ready to jump through like this. It's enough stall to like get around the corner and get into cover. Is it worth to charge a full heal? So now I'm gonna take some questions from chat. Sorry, I was kind of just like riffing off the top of my head for a video. Is it worth it to fully charge his heals, says Shamo? So somebody on Reddit did the math where the optimal heal is to probably keep it around 40 to 50 charge to minimize the movement speed penalty. Like charging it to 65, I still think is like really good for high HPS or heals per second. The only issue is this is assuming you let go of it exactly at 65. If you waste time and you overcharge it, you're losing HPS if you're trying to be precise for it. So I would honestly say I find myself just shooting 30 to 50 on average. And if nothing is happening, then I could charge it higher. And then you make sure you swap your weapon long enough and then swap back. Do you think the minimum heal should be 15 so you could rapid fire it? I mean, it pretty much goes to 15 pretty fast. What is the minimum? 10, right? I mean, if you just hold it for half a second, it goes to 25 so fast. You could lower the minimum. I don't think that would break the hero by any means. That would lower probably the time to charge, or you would spread out the difference. If you have a 1 second charge time, that the minimum starts at 15, sure. But I think my suggestion to not touch numbers too early, you still need more data on this hero. You need more reps. Do you think his healing should be buff? No, not necessarily. I don't think so. Next questions. You guys can rapid fire some. Is it good to play to force enemies out of position with pedal, or perhaps an easy pick for the DPS? Oh, kind of like instead of using your platform defensively, You stick it under the enemy and hope they accidentally rise up. I think that's decent against snipers. But what I find is like enemies won't actually take it all the way up. What ends up happening with platform a lot of times is that even if they can see you throw the platform, if the enemy decides to take it, they might just accidentally slip off. That just happens that happens to everybody, your teammates and them. And his hitbox is ginormous. Holy shit. Let me talk about his hitbox really quick. This guy's the biggest support by far. The pedals are part of the hitbox. So he gets farmed by like Sombras, Tracers, and like Sojourns who have like spread on the weapon. You get insta charge and insta headshots that you can't miss. That's also a big weakness in his kit. Is the charge rate linear? No, it's diminishing returns if I'm not mistaken. Or at least his charge up is, but the HPS is diminishing returns mathematically. Do you consider throwing a flower in doorway a waste enemy time a viable strategy or a waste of a cooldown? No, if you're getting chased. You don't do this every time in the doorway. You only do this if like they have dive, like Winston, Tracer, they're going to kill you. This is more of an escape option. What tanks do you like for Lifeweaver? So after a week of playing, I realized the good matchup is enemy Reinhardt's actually gets so screwed against Lifeweaver. I mean, sometimes it can backfire if you pull them at a bad time, but the charge does nothing. That's tough for Reinhardt. I can mess up Rein completely. Decent against Sigma as well. Like you can stop all his ultimates. If someone gets pulled up and Graviton Surge, you can platform them up as well. With Flux, if they Flux big circle area, there's the black hole center of the Flux. You put a tree down the middle, it instantly blocks the ultimate, which is super, super strong. So I think those are a couple of strong matchups. Playing with, I like it with Winston the best, and it's okay with Reinhardt. But I think out of all the tanks I played with, I ended up playing with a lot of Reinhardts this week, so I don't have enough data, but so far, I've liked Winston so far. Is the dash heal big enough? 25 HP heal is fine. This is mostly a mobility thing. I don't think they need to touch rejuvenating dash. I think they should rework the platform where you can stop the platform at the desired height. That's actually a nice quality of life change. Could Lifeweaver find a home and dive? You're doomed to int with all their cooldowns and then pull them back. See, that's the same concept and issue I find where like it's a maybe. You could go in with use all the cooldowns and pull back. Sure, that's viable. If you do that, you could have just played with like Lucio Kiri and just all in them. And instead of like a maybe go all in and pull back, you just all in and actually convert the kill, just win out. Instead of a pull back and then re-engage and try to win out after. It's a bit more strategic that I feel like maybe in the Overwatch League, if you have to trade certain cooldowns, sure. But for most ranked players, like if you're all on the same page with Doom using all their cooldowns and you actually have like other supports that can back that up, not Lifeweaver, like a bit more offensive power, why not just go for that? Why not go for the guaranteed like higher probability of just killing them in the first round rather than trying to bait everything out? Is Zen a better pick than Lifeweaver right now? So early on, I would say yes. I think Discord Orb is messing up a lot of people. Do you think he is too ally comp dependent in his current state? Yes. Very team play dependent, which is again, is gonna be a nightmare for ranked play, but really good for coordinated scrims and pre-made fives and Overwatch League. It's a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong, he's a fun hero. If we're talking strict ranked viability, it's hard when other heroes just get quicker value. But again, we're only 1 week in. Who knows? Maybe an optimal strategy is gonna emerge in the community where like you are supposed to just flank and pull Soldier up here every time, control space. There's a lot of intangibles that are hard to equate right now. What's the best duos to play with him? I actually think Ana is one of the better supports to play. Kiriko is fine, Bap is fine, but Ana, like Baptiste can exo boot, jump to high ground. Kiriko can wall climb. Ana is kind of stuck on the ground. So when you play Lifeweaver with Ana on Ilios Ruins, you can just bring this Ana up with the platform to really optimal positions to reposition. If you have a goated Ana duo, I actually think this is a pretty good combo. It's safe. Ana can back you up with like the healing resources for your main tank. Pump the heals that you're severely lacking, and you reposition her to be the carry, and you save people. Kind of like that. I think that might be the best support duo that I've felt so far. I played it once or twice with Zen. I did not like it. Maybe it's because we didn't run the right tank with it. I think we ran Ryan with Lifeweaver Zen. Our heals were atrocious. If you're gonna run a traditionally lower healing comp, you need to play a low resource tank like Sigma, Hog, or Ball. Ball goes for health pack. Sigma's got mitigation with shield, suck, and shield regen, health shield regen, excuse me. And Hog can self-heal. With Ryan, he needs resources to excel. That was tough. Best support duo? I think right now, Ana's my favorite. Dash HP gain thoughts? I think it's fine. I don't think you need to touch Dash. I'm gonna tell you, Sim and Lifeweaver, great combo. Yeah, but even with like Symmetra, a lot of people don't even combo correctly with Symmetra to begin with. So like that's why I'm like, I think when it pops off though, like Orisa taking a Sim TP with like her ultimate is actually really cool play to make, but it's so rare. Do you think the platform should have a direction to omnidirectional move like forward or backwards? No, I think it does the job. I think you're adding too much, even more complexity to an already complex hero. I think a vertical platform is fine. Can you stop the Sig ult like tree can't? Oh, platform? That I have to test. I don't think so, because I'm pretty sure the platform acts like a shield. I know Ramattra can punch through it. I'm pretty sure Genji can slash through this. It's like a soft shield, so I don't see how that shield can block the Sig lift up. The grip cooldown at 20 seconds, yeah, it's a very, very potent ability, so I think keeping it at 20 is fine. Although I will say, if your grip gets canceled, I think maybe rewarding, like refunding a portion of the cooldown I wouldn't be opposed to that. So I've definitely pulled someone and they accidentally hit a wall, or like, you know, they countered out of it, and I'm stuck on a 20-second cooldown. I got nothing. I know you said changing numbers early on is bad, but what if the healing was reworked to where you had a better low burst that only consumes 1 ammo, but his charge consumes more? Oh, you're gonna run out of ammo. 12 is pretty short for thing. I think the suggestion with that is if I hold the heal and I don't click anybody, I don't actually lose an ammo. Like right now, I lose this ammo. It consumes the ammo the moment I start charging. I was thinking if you lose the ammo, if it actually like tries to like go on someone, then maybe it won't feel as bad, especially if they remove the movement speed penalty. That could be something too. Or you can honestly just have no ammo. I don't even think Lifeweaver would be bad if he had no ammo, because people are already cycling the proper rotation and just quality of life at this point. Do you think the tree is good? Is it underwhelming? I think the tree, underwhelming on the heals, but like I said, the value of the tree is mostly to counter ultimates and block people from escaping. I had a clip yesterday on Midtown where their Widow, I think it was Cole Husky in the chat, tried to leave on Midtown, and I just blocked their path out, and then they got killed because they couldn't. I actually think stopping chokes is way more powerful and messing up their positions. What are the strongest supports at the moment in this? I think Ana, Bap, Zen, Kiri, Mercy are all pretty equal. Brig and Moira a bit more situational, but they're solid. I actually think most supports in the game are pretty good. It's actually less that Lifeweaver is weak, but more like all the other supports are so good that like Lifeweaver just kind of fails in comparison. I think if the other supports are a bit weaker, this hero is actually not bad. Blizzard has to be careful with buffs that would break the pro scene. I'm thinking coordination with Weaver is insane. Overwatch League is starting soon, I'm pretty sure. In like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. You'll get a good idea of how this is gonna go, and the Lifeweaver Invitational this weekend to see if there's like really untapped potential. But anyways, do you feel the tree, oh, okay, final question. Do you feel the tree dies too quickly, or is 1k HP plenty enough? I think 1,000's fine. Obviously, if Roadhog's ulting, it'll blast it, but 1,000 that can't be headshot, it's kind of like Bob. Bob has 1,000, doesn't feel too bad because you can headshot Discord him. Tree, you can't Discord and you can't headshot, but it's got a massive hitbox. I think it's fine. If you have the right heroes to blast it, like Hog, deserved. But there's times where I see like an Ana hiding in a room and I just like cut her off and she has to take the long way. Say like Midtown, you know that little cubby on the back of first point, as some people are. If I block them off, the Ana has to take the entire other way because she literally cannot do 1,000 damage fast enough. So like that's super, super good value. You took someone out of the fight with your ultimate. It's almost as if you killed them with your ultimate, you know what I mean? If you really wanted to buff it, maybe you could do 60 HP pulse healing, or make that HP pulse a little bit faster every 1.5 seconds, because right now it's just a big soldier heal pad. What's the HPS on soldier's heal pad? It actually probably feels the same. I actually think soldier's heal pad heals faster than the pulses. 40 HPS is 80 HP, so 80 HP after 2 seconds. You get 50 HP after 1.75 seconds or something on the Lifeweaver all, so it's slow as shit. So 50 HP on 1.75 second pulses is like, what, 30 HPS? 20? It's not like even this ability is that big, 12 meters. But anyways, that's my thoughts on Lifeweaver so far. Thanks for listening to my KarQ rants. Bye-bye.